you have to decide if you are just working for yourself, you're just another employee, or you're a leader.
That's right. And you can't be the CEO and the stock girl and the content creator and the cashier forever. Not if you want to build something bigger.
Boutique hustle. Unzipped.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sonia.
And I am Hannah. Welcome to Boutique Hustle Unzipped. Yay!
Yes.
Another week.
Hello. Another week. Can you imagine?
We are,
So close to Thanksgiving.
wow, like it is approaching. I cannot believe it's like the minute Thanksgiving gets here, then it's Christmas, then it's the year end, and then we have to start completely over again. All new forecasts, all new things.
Yeah, and I hate how Thanksgiving is so late, so it makes that window. I think I mentioned this before. That window between Thanksgiving and Christmas is so short, and it's like you blink and it's here,
Right.
and then it's all over. I'm
The
stressing it.
struggle. The struggle. Do y'all do a big Thanksgiving? Do y'all bring in a lot of people?
My mother-in-law usually has everybody and their mother over. She's a beast. She cooks and she does all the things. It's awesome.
She's fancy, right? Like she does.
She's fancy.
She's fancy.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Fancy.
There's tables and place settings and name cards and all the things.
All the things. I'm sure it's a
All the
great
things.
day for just wine and dining.
Mhm. And then just lounging around
I love
and playing
it.
board games and being silly with the family. It's always fun.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, let's get into today's episode, Sonia. This is a good one.
Let's
I
do
think this is
it.
going to be a good topic for a lot of people. Very relatable.
Yeah, and so, what we're gonna go into is how most people, and I think I was or have been guilty of it, is working on the business versus in the business, which is a huge difference. When you're just going, 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 it's like you start your business small and you start doing everything. That you're the cashier, you're the buyer, you're the merchandiser, you're throwing out the trash, running to get paper for the printer, all the things. And then as you grow, you forget to kind of delegate those jobs. And I think you bog yourself down with being stuck doing all the things. And then I think you get stumped and it hinders your growth because you're busy
Being
basically working
busy.
for yourself. Yeah, you're
Busy,
busy.
busy, being busy.
Hmm. But that's not always productive or
No,
it's ever productive.
I totally, totally agree. It's like you're constantly doing, doing, doing in the business. You're the doer in every single part of it. And it really stunts your growth. You're really just start maintaining what you
Yep.
have. And then maintenance is not momentum. And that's not what we want whenever we start a business. What is our goal? It's always to do the most, right?
And to
And
do the most and grow.
grow. Yep. And
But
it's
you
like,
you made a good point. It's the maintenance part that we get stuck doing.
yeah,
And so I think that's important to kind of notice like that you got to get to a point in your business where you're like, okay, I need to pass this on and I need to take care of certain things because there are certain things that as an owner only you can do.
sure.
And those are the things like if you got a list of the to-dos, and I think I remember my husband always telling me this. It's like, why are you doing this? Why don't you have so and so or such and such person doing it? And I'm like, because again, the mentality of like, I can do it faster and better just check it off my list.
Hmm.
But then that takes you away from all the other things on the list that are probably more important. And those are things that only you can do. So
And those are
like,
the things that move the needle. I mean, are the things that
absolutely.
where you need to be are the things that gonna move the needle with the business moving
Hmm.
forward. But if you're being
Hmm.
stuck into the day to day and you have that guilty conscience of delegating and you're feeling like no one can do it as good as you and how staying in the business makes you so stagnant, then you're not able to grow and it stunts you. And I think that that is so important as business owners to learn. And look, true transparency, I am still trying to relinquish the control in every aspect of the
Hard.
business. It is so hard. It is one of the hardest things. And I can even speak for my mom and Aunt Cindy, who've been doing this business for 36 years. They're stuck in their ways, but they've grown so much just in the past 5 years to start really delegating out responsibilities. Because what happens is as we were growing, we were starting to step on each other's toes and crossing each other's lanes. So now we have everybody in their roles and responsibilities, and it definitely helps. And then from there, it's about building that team. What do you
Yeah, and
see
my
in y'all's industry that really stunts the growth on the wholesale side?
it's a lot of the same. Honestly, it's with the reps. It's everything's on a much larger scale. Um, One thing that's kind of prevalent in this industry, and I actually had this conversation with a vendor just 2 days ago, is someone looking for a designer. And that's a very it's something that the vendor can't live without, but it's one, difficult to find, and two, it's one of the positions that a lot of vendors probably, I don't know if the word fear filling is the most. It's just
Yeah,
it is so critical to find the right designer, and believe it or not, it's not only about designing the line and the apparel, is because there's so many designers in this industry that once they figure things out, go off and start designing their own thing and start their own line and take a lot of the designs with them. And so, oh, I've seen that more times than I have fingers on my hands and toes on my
I've seen
feet.
that happen out there too with y'all. I
Yeah,
totally see that being
yeah.
something that would
So
be definitely
a
be
lot of
fear.
people get yeah. So it's like it's just crazy. I don't wanna get into too much of it because it's, getting into other people's business, but
Right.
it's definitely something that is feared. And, it's the rep thing, and then it's show people, and then it's, I do some consulting on the side, so I get to see a lot of inside, inner workings, and it's literally the same. The owner doesn't give control.
Yeah.
It's like everyone has a position, everyone has a title, but no one's really living up to the potential of their title or what's supposed to be their job description because they don't have the authority to do A, B, or C. So
Right.
it's just a title without any real definition.
I think
So
too,
I think that lies on the owner,
yes, and I
the
think
leader.
as business owners too, it's like you feel like by delegating, it means that you're lazy, that you're not doing the thing that you put into place to begin with because you're so used to doing the do that when you start delegating it out to others and then you do have that extra spare time that you haven't quite put in new things for the next growth chapter of your career phase, you find yourself being like, well, if I'm letting them doing it, then what am I going to do? Now I feel lazy. But delegating is not being lazy. It's about becoming the leader that you're meant to be. And I think that that is important as leaders to understand that that is the path to what's next for you. Um,
Absolutely. Mhm.
so, and like for us, we've opened up 5 locations. And whenever we opened up Lafayette, that was my baby, still is, um, the golden child, as I say. But to get to our Youngsville store, which would have been the third location and my second one, I was unable to be in the store on the sales floor every single day because I was working on a new store to open. And that was the beginning of trying to relinquish control and
Well, you were
allow.
forced to.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it though, is whenever you can really just say, "Okay, it's working." Sonia, swear you not, when I stepped out of my storefront back in 2016, I'm still there. I still like to pop in. So yeah, I still like to show my face. Full on, full time managing owner in that storefront, my sales increased. And let me tell you why I think that happened. I think that by me being the store owner, the sales associate, the cashier, the merchandiser, the buyer, doing all the finances, um, building retention programs, which I don't even think I knew what that was back then, but doing everything that it takes to keep a business thriving day in and day out with just one location. I was so strung out that the thought of even having more stores that I wanted, which was a dream of mine, I always had a dream of having 10 locations. Like didn't even seem possible because I was the one doing the do and going nonstop, endless. Oh, checking in. I was the one checking in the merchandise, tagging the merchandise, all the things that it takes. I was the one doing that on my first location. So the thought of getting to that next location seemed like it was almost impossible. But what happens is you start growing into the next location and then you realize, okay, I need to hire somebody to take over checking in. I need to hire somebody to take over tagging. I need to hire somebody more stylists on the floor. And it is scary because you've been burned before. You have trust issues. You're the only one who can do it. But at the end of the day, without really taking a step back, getting out of your own head and your own way, you're allowing other people opportunities to really show what they're worth and what they're capable of and figuring out where their superpowers lie so that you can place them in the right places within your business. And then all of a
Right.
sudden you look up and you're like, okay, now I have the next location. And then you realize, okay, it took this to get here. Now what do I need to do to get to the next space? So I think it is, I'm even kind of patting myself on the back because at one point, and I'm still doing that today where it's like I still need to find people to do certain things to give me more space for what I want to do next. But we have come so far because of taking the risk and giving other people opportunities.
Well, that's the thing. You've taken the risk and you've given people the opportunity. And I think that's hurdle number one is to close your eyes and just like hand it over. Like just trust. I'm gonna assume that if you're a business owner, you probably could be type A, likely.
Ah, ah,
And so,
guilty.
um, so I understand it because I am like the ultimate type A personality. I want to control everything and everyone around me. Um, all the moving parts. But it's also good to have somebody in your ear, like in this case, my husband, um, that reminds you, like, you got to let it go, trust it. What makes you think that if you give that to them, if you don't give that to them and you do it, that you're not going to make a mistake? How many times don't you make a mistake? Somebody else doing it and making a mistake is a learning moment for them. Let me start that over again.
And then go into your story.
Yeah.
Okay.
And allowing somebody to do whatever that task may be, and let's just say they make a mistake, it's a learning moment for them. And
Mm-hmm.
I always say, you make a mistake once, you usually learn from it. There's going to be more mistakes on the road. So it's about learning to just release, because that's, I guess, that is the biggest hurdle is once you let it go and you trust that person and then you go, oh wow, they did it. Maybe they could have done it faster, but they did it. Well, that's okay. You work on that next part of it. Um, and then you do it again and again, and then you do it with the next person and the next person. Um, Going back to like where you asked with about the vendors and what do I see on this end, something I see a lot that usually blows my mind is sorry vendors if you're listening, but I do see this a lot. I'll have a order and I may have questions. I usually have questions before I give anybody a large order. I want to confirm my ETAs and all this before like I finalize everything, and I can't get a hold of them. I can't get a hold of them. Finally they call me back and I'm like, man, I've been trying to get a hold of you for like, 2 days or a day and a half. And they're like, sorry, we're just packing for the show. And, there's so much to tag and like make sure we have like all the things we need and the steamers and the da, da, da. And I'm always like, why are you packing in the warehouse for the show? Like, aren't you in sales? Like, I have this big order I'm trying to give you, but you're in the warehouse packing? I'm like, don't you have warehouse people? They're like, yeah, but they forget everything. And like, then, we get to the show and they're missing this or that. And I'm like, that's what a big checklist is for. Like, that
It's called
checklist.
creating systems. You have to
Yes.
create systems for your people.
Yes. And it's like, if somebody in your warehouse is not capable of reading staplers, staplers, tape gun, whatever the case may be, then you're hiring horribly, but chances are they can. And so, like, you should have a checklist. A checklist should exist regardless, because
And so the
I'm
question
sure it's
is,
the
are
same
you
thing going over and over.
yeah.
It's the same things over and over, same process, the same hangers and the tags and the this and the that. So if there's a checklist, somebody needs to check it off and make
That's
sure
right.
everything's in there, and that's it. But you should be selling because you're a salesperson, and I
So
have an
then
order to give you, and it
the
ain't happening
question
because you're in the warehouse.
right. The question is then, as the owner, are they providing their people that they should
No,
delegate
they're not.
to with the right tools? Because if you're not providing your people with the right tools, how can you expect them to even come close to how you would do it? That's where your knowledge is power. If you can be the one who puts all this in a system, and like you said, a checklist, however you want to say it, it's easy. You start creating these systems and these templates so that when it's time to prepare for a show, you're telling Michael over there, hey, here's your checklist. Here's a system on the process and procedures on how we need this to be done. And then all you have to do is go back and follow up and say, check, 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 check. All right, ready to go.
Mhm. Yeah, but I think what happens too is the let's just say they might have had somebody doing it before. They screwed up once. Now the trust is completely broken.
That's
And
right.
then let's just say the manager, supervisor, the owner, it's like, "Hey, why isn't this person doing it?" "No, they screwed up last time. We were missing they make this whole deal. And so, like, now you as the owner are going by what this person is saying instead of saying, no, no, no. Let's find out what hole was in that process that we need to fix so that this doesn't happen again."
Yep.
It's
Yep.
not
Yep.
like,
Yep.
okay, then I guess you have to do it because that person screwed up once. You know,
Correct.
it's, a good analogy for me would be it's like, I don't know, football season, since it's football season, you have a coach. The coach is not out there running plays with you. The coach is not
Correct.
out there catching touchdowns. The coach is not out there kicking field goals. He is there
Directing.
delegating,
Yep.
creating the
Yep.
plays, directing what's going to happen. And
Yep.
this is your job. Your job is to protect that guy. And you better not, you better make sure you don't drop the ball, or you better make sure you tackle that guy. And you need to go here and you need to do that.
Very
That's
good point.
what ultimately should be your job,
Yep.
because
And I
then
think
you're
we
growing,
just,
you're winning games, you're
correct.
winning Super Bowls.
You're winning Super Bowls. That's what gets you to that
Yes.
next level. You're so right with that. And I think that as owners, the control, we talked about having the control, and delegation is not necessarily losing control, but it's creating the capacity for growth. And without creating that space, then you really are just staying complacent. And you're not maximizing your full opportunity.
Absolutely not.
One thing I will say, if I didn't learn how to build a team and trust them, none of these other chapters would have even remotely have been possible for us. And that is something that is still a daily learning curve for me. Even whenever I'm trying to, I know we've talked about like building the perfect week and really trying to time manage yourself so that you have the space and the time to do podcasts or like extra things to help build what your ultimate goal is. When you hire the right person for the right position, the business shifts from surviving to scaling. And I can honestly say that we're finally at a place that we are recovering from survival mode since COVID and really get into a really sweet spot going into 2026 where I'm ready to take the next shift into scaling the business and really seeking out what my big picture vision is, which is having more locations. But being able to do that, what I've really seen shift over the past 2 years is we hired a mentor and had a professional COO come into our place of business. And she really taught us how to build the systems and structures that we needed for the bones of the business. And we're really starting to create these muscles within our team members that we've built. So we put Erin, who is our manager in Monroe. She now sits as a district leader. We have Claire, who is a managing owner of our Youngsville store, who is actually going into a COO positions because naturally her superpower is operations and creating systems and procedures and structure for the business so that everything runs smoothly throughout 5 locations. My sister Haley is so incredible at merchandising that we're actually
Mhm.
working on shifting her into a merchandising position for the company and even seeing if she would like to seek that out for other businesses, whether it be gift shops, other boutiques. And so we're actually leaning into that direction because we've learned that her superpower is actually merchandising. And we've used her in our stores, and that's just really where she thrives. And right now we have her as a managing owner
Mhm.
in Baton Rouge, and she doesn't have the time to really go and pursue the things that really she has a great gift for. So we're actually working on that as well. And then in the meantime, I have built warehouses. I have scaled back warehouses. I know we've talked about that too,
Mhm.
but still made sure that the key people that are in these positions, like a warehouse manager, a social media director, a website manager, stays in check, because those are the things that if I don't have in house, it falls back on me. And I 100% am at a place in the business that I cannot do those jobs. I know how to. So if anything falls, like we've had some transitions lately, so I've had to step in, but I'm now quick to find the person that I want to give opportunities to. And I think that that for me has been a word that I've been talking about for the past week. Because quick story here, and then I'm going to go into you, Sonia. But we lost our creative director, who I love. She's been with us for a couple
Mhm.
years. She moved from Monroe down to Lafayette. She raises 4 children by herself, and she's just so
Wow.
awesome. And she just got a huge job offer from a marketing company out of New Orleans. And as sad as I am to lose her, because we finally got her into a place where we had this position for her and she tackled all of it, and she was able to really time manage her week, and she did everything from Facebook ads to Google ads, Pinterest, website development, social media content, creation of the content, styling of the content, like all the things, and so great at it. And then bam, we lost her, and I was sad, and I really like
I
had to
know.
take a step back, because I was like, you know what, one of my passions, and I've always said this, is giving people opportunities. I feel like I was given an opportunity because I was born and raised in this industry. But we live in Louisiana where like fashion isn't at everybody's fingertips, and
Mhm.
opening up a boutique is hard. I mean, it doesn't work for just everyone. I feel blessed
Really?
that we're so easy. Uh, so like I just feel like we're in a place where I would love the opportunity, and we do this already, to give other girls opportunities in this industry. And we have created a space with all these roles to be able to provide that. And watching Parisha take a new job that is going to like really, really provide so immensely for her family, and knowing that we were the stepping stone to that, like literally gives me the goosies. And so right then
Mhm.
and there, I was like, we accomplished what the mission was. The mission of what we wanted to do as we were growing, and I've said this over and over. I have it written like on my in my journals with mentors and stuff, is giving other women opportunities in our industry. And when I thought about that, I was like, okay, now I'm excited about who's next. And whenever I shift from being sad, like, oh, we just poured in this and this and this, and she just learned all this, and now she's gone and taken it somewhere else, instead of shifting into that control mindset, I shifted back into the mindset of a leader that really says, all right, we just accomplished a
Next. Yeah.
goal. Who's next? And I think
Yeah.
that that is very empowering when you're thinking about really creating jobs for people and giving people opportunities. So that for
But
me
let's
was,
not kid ourselves. The gut punch usually takes a
oh,
bit to recover from.
I mean, it took a week. So
Yeah, because it happened to me about a year ago. Yeah, and, yeah, it was a gut punch. So,
it is. It
I
is a
I'm
gut
with
punch.
you 100%, but you gotta recover from it when it's somebody you
Yes.
really love and really, just
Like,
rely
how many
on.
bottles of wine is going to get us through this
Oh,
tragedy?
yeah, yeah,
And then you have the awakening.
right. But with like you said, with every situation that I've experienced where I haven't had too many people go, "Thank God." One of my people have been with me 18 years, which is kinda wild, but,
So wild.
um, she did try to leave me a couple times, but
She took a hiatus.
she just a very short one and, it's like came back home, kinda thing. But the first time that someone ever said, "Oh, I found another job, blah, blah, blah," it doesn't feel good because you feel it's like why? Is this place not good? Am
Right.
I not doing enough? So you start to question all
Right.
these things about your work environment and you as
Sure.
a leader and all these things. But no, the reality is, you started probably with your high school job and then, you went to the next thing and the next thing. I'm here because of all the past jobs I've had and all the things I learned from them. I was able to bring the good. So yeah, all of that's great. I agree with you. I guess the point to what I was going to say is it's not good that you lose good people, but it gets easier because you learn from it and you
Mhm.
realize, the first time it happens to you, you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Right.
My life is upside down now.
Right.
You know, unfortunately, yeah, as it happens, that being the unfortunate part, um, the fortunate part is you are learning how to like receive that information and start to like just learn from it and go like, okay, this sucks, but it's not the end of the world. I'll find somebody else because there's always somebody else.
There's always
It's like in
somebody
a
else.
relationship. It's like breaking up with
Yeah.
a boyfriend or whatever. It's like, oh my God, it's done. My life is over. And it's like, no, there's always somebody else.
Yes.
And it's always going forward.
And I think just
Um,
building that playbook too, like whenever you think about how can I create myself? Like how can I duplicate myself? And then start taking the things that you do, literally getting a notepad, writing it all down. What does your Monday look like? And what does it take to accomplish all that? And then start really taking each little segment. I have an empty notebook, by the way. Um,
is that your journal?
there's nothing happening today up there.
Excuse me.
Taking each little segment of your day and start creating a playbook. This is what creates your systems and your procedures so that when you do have somebody leave, because I can honestly say 4 years ago, we started this process and we've had a couple little shifts throughout, but this is our marketing department we're talking about. Like, this is what everybody sees. So when someone says, I'm
Hmm.
giving you a 2 weeks, you're like, hang on, I need a year. Like,
Yeah.
not 2 weeks, I need a freaking year.
Can
But
you hold
then
that thought for a minute?
I went to Claire. I go to Claire for everything because she's our COO. And I'm like, okay, what do we have? Do we have everything we need? She's like, yep. And she pulled out this binder, honey. And it is everything that you need to know that we do in our marketing. And what we did is we sat down with P right before she left. We tweaked it, added in some things because obviously a creator starts bringing in new things and new innovative ideas. And then now we're ready for what's next. So and we've transitioned really 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 quickly. So everything we do with marketing this week has been delegated out to people who just started, and I'm excited about it, and I want to empower them and move forward because I do feel like people have it if you can just let go and allow others to show you what they're made of. So it's exciting for me.
Would you agree? It's probably similar to when you have children. Like you have your first one and you're doing all these things and you buy all these things and you're raising them a certain way. And by the time you have your second one, you've learned all the do's and don'ts with the first one. And so the
Right.
second one gets it a little easier because you've already had practice. And then you have a third and that one gets it even a little easier. And I think that's probably similar to learning how to navigate when you lose
So
someone
true.
and you learn how to like not let it eat at you as much and not take it so personal and you just ease and you're like, okay, it sucks, but move on.
Yeah.
And there is always life at the end of the tunnel, but you have to
Always.
learn to let go because I think also when you don't let go, you are holding yourself back from the things you could be doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're too busy being busy watching and over managing and micromanaging everything, where do you find the time to grow your business? Where do you find the time to scale or whatever it may be? I'm sure there's things, again, that only you as an owner can do. And as long as you're busy with that busy stuff, you're never going to get there. So at some point, you have to decide again, am I a business owner or am I just an employee in my own business? And so just know one's going to keep you stuck, the other one's going to help you create the time to build what's next. Be it your legacy, be it another store, be it an expansion, going online, whatever it may be. It may be on a personal level. Maybe not have to do with the boutique. Maybe there's so many things you're ignoring on your personal side.
Yeah, sure.
So you have to decide if you are just working for yourself. You're just another employee or you're a leader.
That's right. And you can't be the CEO and the stock girl and the content creator and the cashier forever. Not if you want to build something bigger.
Right. You could, but that's exactly what you're going to be for the rest of your time.
Yeah, right. Just keeps you right here.
Right.
We all want to go this way.
And I think your employees ultimately want you to let them prove themselves.
Oh my
So as long as you're
gosh,
always
it
getting in the
empowers
way,
them. That's it.
yes, they wanna show you that they can do it too.
That's it.
And
That in a
sometimes, not
nutshell.
gonna lie, sometimes better.
No, they are better. That
Yeah.
is 100% true. When you do get out of the way and you do allow someone to really take over and learn it and grasp it, you will be surprised what they can bring to the table. Erin, for example, she started with us 3 years ago. She made sure to tell me this week, 3 years ago. And, I was talking to her this morning, and she came down as district leader yesterday in our Lafayette location. I told her last night, I said, "I'm so proud of you. Like, the muscles you have built over these last 3 years is insane." Like, she talks like a true boss babe leader. Like, she could literally sit in this chair, like, no questions, no ifs, no ands, no buts. And sure, we were kind of, like, hesitant. Okay, we need somebody to kinda help us manage all the stores that were all on the same level, because it was a place where we were kinda like, not everybody knew what was going on. Like, we had to start setting up systems and things and have direction and accountability coming from one person. So we put her in this place, and she has exploded with it. And it has been so life-changing for us that if she decided to step down, we would have to hire somebody in her position because we couldn't do it anymore. So you do it's amazing when you can really give others opportunity and let them shine and let them use what their superpowers are. It's good stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of people who can relate to this. So I'm so interested to see. I think that you should, if you hear us and you're speaking the same language as us, please share this episode to one of your business friends. I think this is very relatable for all industries for sure.
Mhm.
And I would love to know, like, what can you do this week that just lets go of one thing? Like, let go of one thing and delegate it out, and then DM us and let us know what that one thing is. Cause I would just love to know if any of this hit you where it hits us.
Yeah, or just comment, yeah, we'd love to hear your feedback, and how you navigated it. I think it's important, um, if you could share what was that thing that finally got you to break and say, "Okay, I'm gonna hand this over," and even if you're, like, looking away as you're doing it and you're shaking and you're like, "Can you do this?" Because you're not used to delegating, you wanna do everything. What was that one thing that kinda got you there to let it go?
Yep. Let it go. Okay, now we gotta go.
Well, thank you
Well,
guys for listening. Hopefully, there's a little bit of something that everyone can take out of this. I know we talked about hiring the right people. This is more about you, the business owner, and how it's important to let go and not, again, be an employee of your own business, but be a leader, coach, manage, be the shot caller, create the playbook,
that's it. I love it.
do all the things.
Awesome. Well, today was fun. I love it. Very insightful. And
Yeah.
happy holidays.
Thanks. I love the red hat.
Thank you.
Very chic.
I,
Yeah.
I think we're taking a break next week, right?
Uh, Yeah, it's Black Friday, and I'm sure everyone's gonna be busy with all their holiday sales, hopefully making tons of money,
Yes.
breaking records.
I love it.
So yeah, we'll pick back up first week of December.
Okay. Well, I will see you then. Happy holidays. And this is the Boutique
Thanks.
Hustle Unzipped.
Thanks, guys.
Boutique hustle.